Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So maybe you've been doing some research on moving here to the state of Maryland. Maybe you're thinking Howard County may be a good fit for you and your family. So today we're going to break down specifically Howard County, some things that are fun to do, some areas to consider, different parts that make up Howard County. And this is a place that I live that I call home. So I live in Ellicott City, which is in kind of northern part of Howard County. So I'm going to share my thoughts with you today, and hopefully that'll help out in any decision making or any information that you are looking to gather. So let's get started right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Living in Maryland channel, where we talk about all things living here in the great state of Maryland. So if that's the kind of information you are looking for, then you're definitely in the right spot. And if you ever have any questions about moving here to the area, if you are considering whether purchasing a home here in the area and the state of Maryland is the right decision for you and your family, or just looking to gather information, I am always available. We love answering any questions that we can from people who check out the channel here. So please feel free to reach out anytime. Days, nights, and weekends, we've got your back when moving here to the great state of Maryland.
All right, everyone. So today we are talking about Howard County, Maryland. Maybe you are thinking of moving here to the Maryland area and considering Howard County. Maybe you've seen some things online about it, and we're looking to learn a little more. So today we're going to dive into the maps and just kind of give you a brief overview of what to expect from the area, what it has to offer, as well as the different areas that make up Howard County. So first off, as far as kind of the area that it covers, you're going to start here at Patapsco State Park. This is going to separate Howard County from Baltimore County over here. It's going to run through the state park here, kind of a little north of 70, and it's going to run all the way over here to Mount Airy. Mount Airy is kind of a tri-county area where you've got to the east, you've got Frederick. To the north here, you've got Carroll County, and then you've got a Howard County part here as well. And then it's going to run down this way here, and it's going to hit your Laurel area here. In Maryland, you kind of have a lot of counties that are separated by either state parks or rivers, and this is no exception here. So down to the south, you've got the Patuxent River, and the Patuxent State Park here that's separating Howard from Montgomery County. So it's going to run down here into parts of Laurel. And then a little east of Route 1, it's going to be shooting up here through Hanover, and then it's going to be shooting up here. So this is kind of your general Howard County area here, and what you can expect to find there. So first off, I'm going to start off with Ellicott City and Columbia. These are going to be the most populous towns within Howard County. Howard County is roughly 330,000 people. You've got about 80,000 people in Ellicott City, and pushing 100,000 people in Columbia. So you're going to see the main bulk of the population in those two areas. So first off, in Ellicott City here, a couple cool things that I wanted to note. You've got, as I mentioned here, Patapsco State Park here running kind of on the east side and then the north side of Ellicott City here. And this is an area that my wife and I absolutely love. So if you like to get outdoors, if you like to hike and be active, this is an area that you definitely want to check out. A couple little points here. If you want to check out, you've got Daniels Dam over here. This is kind of a really cool spot to check out. You're going to take Old Frederick here down, and then there's this street here, Daniels, that takes you straight back. You've got the dam back here where people kind of get in the water and they swim, and then there's a bunch of trails here that kind of go along the river, and then back into the state park here. So this is an area that I would certainly check out. There's a lot of neighborhoods back here too, where if you want the state park in your backyard, there's some cool neighborhoods to check out where you can just walk out your front door and you can find little trail points that kind of get back here. And then another cool spot that I like to head out to is going to be down here on Woodstock Road. Now this is just a little outside of Ellicott City, but if you head here, you take Woodstock Road back. This again is going to be your county line. So once you cross the river and the train tracks right here, this is going to be Baltimore County, but all of this in here, this is all Howard County. And Woodstock Inn, this is a really cool little place. They've renovated over the years, but it's a really cool little spot if you want to go there and spend some time outdoors, get some good food. They've got a pool table in there, some really cool outdoor space. It is a it is a biker bar on a fair amount of weekends, so it does get a little crazy down here, a little noisy, but still kind of a cool little hole in the wall spot. So that's something to check out. Now, if you come back here, as soon as you cross the train tracks here, you're going to see on Woodstock Road, especially on the weekend, you're going to see a lot of cars starting to park up. So there's some access points here into the state park, like right in here. So this is something that you can get back there and check out the river, check out all the trails. You're going to see a lot of people like mountain biking back here on the trails. And then if you keep coming back here, this is Hernwood. If you come back in here, and we can switch real quick over to the layers. Once you see here the end of the woods here, there's a place where you can walk back here and park. There are a ton more trails back in here. So a couple cool spots to check out. And then if you go down, if you keep going further here on Marriott, this is Marriottsville Road. If you come back here, there's an access point to the state park here as well. So again, if you like getting outdoors, if you like being active, there's a really no shortage of opportunity to get out into the state park here in Howard County at the Patapsco State Park. So definitely a cool area to check out. Sticking with getting outdoors, we're going to head over to Centennial Park. So this is going to be right off of 108. This is 29 here. So this is a really cool area as well. So they've got a good size lake here where I think it's a 2.5 mile loop around the lake here. So where you can do your walking, some biking, skateboarding, whatever you want to do here. They've got some picnic areas. They've got boat rentals for most of the spring and summer and into the early fall. So this is a really cool area to check out as well. I think it's roughly 300 acres. So a lot of space to get outside with the family, and that's a cool spot to check out. And then if you head a little east down 108, you're going to see Clark's Ellie Oak Farm here. So this is a really cool area too. We've been taking my son there a couple times, and he loves it now that he's a little older. He can get out and run around. So they've got a petting farm there. They've got like a little farmer's market, a little store that you can go check out. They've got pumpkin patches in the fall. So they do a lot of cool things here. So this is a really cool area that is fun to check out as well. And then also specific to Ellicott City is if we head over here, you're going to see Main Street here. This is historic old Ellicott City. This is a really, really cool little spot. The architecture and the buildings down here are amazing. It's from the 1800s. So this is an area that I would check out as well. There's some really cool restaurants. You've got Phoenix Upper Main. You've got Judge's Bench towards the upper part of Main Street here. And then you've got Manor Hill, La Palapa. So a lot of cool different spots here. It's kind of just a cool spot to spend an afternoon or an evening. It's family friendly. So that's a really cool area to check out as well. It's very specific to Ellicott City. Now, if you start doing some research on Ellicott City, you are going to probably find that some of it is prone to flooding. It's almost, quite specifically old Ellicott City here. Unfortunately, this is kind of a valley down here, so you've got a lot of water flow. There's been some devastating floods over the last couple years. So when you see Ellicott City flooding, this is kind of more or less what it's referring to. Almost all of the rest of Ellicott City does not really deal with much flooding. So that's something to keep in mind as well. All right, and then next we're moving south down into Columbia. Now, Columbia is kind of the hub of Ellicott City. It's got the largest population. It's got the most to do. And I always joke with people, like, I live in Ellicott City, but I do almost everything in Columbia because it just has so much. So our kid's pediatrician is in Columbia. When we go out on date nights, most of the time we're eating out in Columbia. There's just so much to do there. So if you like having that kind of stuff in your backyard, Columbia is definitely a spot that you want to check out. Now, when I'm zooming out here, you can see kind of the proximity to Baltimore. So it's so accessible. If you're working in that general area, or maybe even Fort Meade, you're super close. So we got Fort Meade down here, Baltimore here. You're about 20-25 minutes from both, depending on what part. Columbia is pretty big. It's about 30 square miles. So it does have some size to it. So depending on what part you're in, that drive time may switch, a little bit, but overall very, very accessible. Now down here, this is going to be where the basically where the Columbia Mall is here. So this is where you got a ton of restaurants, ton of things to do. Here, you got a Whole Foods here in the downtown area as well. And then if you go over here, this is going to be the Merriweather district. So they're building this up a lot as well, right in here. So, and this is Merriweather Post Pavilion. This is something that I've mentioned in a lot of the other videos. This is one of my favorite spots to get out each year. We try to hit up at least one concert each year. We've seen Jack Johnson there. We've seen Jason Aldean there. So big names come right here to Columbia at Merriweather. And this is just a really cool spot to have so close right here in Howard County, where you don't have to go into Baltimore. You don't have to drive south into D.C. So this is something that I absolutely love about Columbia, and kind of one of the things that makes it so fun, just because they have so many different things. They kind of have a lot of that city stuff right here in the county. So something that's really cool to check out. Columbia amenities. So if you start looking heavily into Columbia, one thing that I always like to tell people, especially if you are considering purchasing a home, is that Columbia has a citywide tax, and it's applicable to about 80 to 85% of Columbia. Part of that, a good part of that tax is going towards Columbia amenities. You're going to see walking trails all throughout Columbia. That's a big thing that it goes to. And then you're going to see a lot of different things like fitness centers. You're going to see several different pools, a skating rink. They've got tons of different like youth centers. So if you're looking for that kind of stuff to kind of be interactive, meet people, Columbia's going to have a lot of that opportunity. And that's kind of where that money goes to. I've broken down the city tax in other videos, but a lot of your single families are going to run $1,200 to $800 a year on top of your traditional property taxes, and your townhomes are usually going to run $600 to $800 a year. So that's kind of a rough ballpark of what you can expect there. And then another thing that I love about Columbia here is the new Bland Air Park here. This thing is huge. It's very new. You've got state-of-the-art kind of your baseball fields, lacrosse fields. You've got several different parks. They've got one down here. Their biggest one is actually on the backside here. So if you've got kids and you want to take them to a park, I would definitely check out Bland Air Park. It's very, very nice. It does get busy on the weekends, so just kind of be aware of that. I try to take my son there during the week, and it's kind of fun because there's still kids there to interact with and meet, but it's not too crazy. So this is something that's right off 175, so it's very accessible, and that's something that I would definitely check out as well. And then next, I just want to kind of briefly touch on Western Howard County. So there's a lot of development here in this part of Howard County, but as you get into Western Howard County, if you shoot up 32 and along 70 as you head west, getting outside of Ellicott City, you're going to hit West Friendship. You're going to hit Woodbine, and you're going to eventually hit Mount Airy there kind of towards the end of Howard County. But once you get out to West Friendship here, this becomes fairly rural. You're going to see a good amount of farmland. There's still a decent amount of this land is protected here to where it cannot be developed. So you are going to see that farmland out in these areas. And then if you look into purchasing here, if you want like an acre or two, this is where you're going to find it. So this is a really cool spot too. I always joke with people that I think some of America's most expensive farmland is right in this region. It's insane. Some of the estates that you'll see, some of the property and the farms that you'll see out there, it's absolutely phenomenal and beautiful, but very, very expensive. So something to be prepared for as well. You're going to see a lot of well and septic out here because those properties are a little more country and rural and spread out. You're not going to see as much public utility and hookups out here. So that's something, if you're looking in that area, that's something to be prepared for out there as well. All right, and then next we're going to jump over onto the eastern side of Howard County here. And this is going to be your Elkridge and Hanover part. So this is Route 1 here. As you get east of Route 1, you're going to hit Hanover. Now Hanover's split between Anne Arundel County and Howard County. So, and then Elkridge is all Howard County. So these are a couple areas that are super accessible if you're looking to be close to Baltimore. I mean, you're right on 100 here, you're right on 95, Route 1, and then 295 is just 2 miles down. So if you need to be heading north-south into Baltimore, DC, or whatever that might look like, these are super commuter-friendly areas that might be worth checking out. Now, here's BWI, Baltimore Washington International Airport. It's basically Baltimore's airport. This is something that's really nice to have close by. I live in this general area here of Ellicott City. I can get to BWI in about 20 minutes flat throughout almost any part of the day. So there's not a, you have some traffic here, but most times of the day it's pretty open and moving well. Now, because of that, in these two areas, I will say that you're going to hear some more planes. You're going to have some decent plane activity and noise activity because of that here. So if that's a concern, if that's something that would bother you, that's definitely something to keep in mind. You may want to be looking into other areas here of Howard County, because once you get into Columbia and Ellicott City, you do have a few. I see them and hear them occasionally, but for the most part, it's very quiet. So something to keep in mind about those areas. Other cool things that you got Elkridge here. As you head north on Route 1, you've got Guinness Factory over here. So this is something that it's a newer brewery. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. Right here. So you got the Guinness Factory right here. So this is something that we always go to a handful of times a year. They've got great outdoor space. They've got outdoor games, life-size Jenga. They've got cornhole. They've got really good food here. And like I said, it's probably built in the last 5 to 6 years. So this is a spot that's very family-friendly. We see a ton of kids there. So if you like getting out and having some drinks and trying some good beer, this is an area that I would definitely check out. Okay, and then heading south into Laurel. Now, Laurel's massive, so this is something that you want to keep in mind. It's in 3 different counties. You've got the north part of Laurel here, which is Howard County, and then you've got an Anne Arundel County part, and then this is going to be your Prince George's County part. Now, Laurel is very nice as well. It's going to be more commuter friendly to those who are considering DC. Maybe they want to, maybe they're doing some work in Baltimore and DC. So this is something that's very central, and you're right on top of 95, and you've got 295 very close by as well. So depending on kind of what your work commute looks like, especially Fort Meade too, you're just a short little drive over to that. So it's very central. That's a huge draw for Laurel as well. And then finishing up, we're going to head over to Fulton. Fulton is going to be on the west side of 29 here. This part, once you get kind of out into this part, it does get a little rural, but one of the things I wanted to mention was the Maple Lawn community here. This is a very popular community. It's a planned development, and it's going to have everything that you need right in this community. So they've got a ton of amenities. So if maybe you're kind of coming from outside of Maryland area and you're looking for something that's got pools, it's got fitness centers, it's got trails, easy opportunities to meet other families, this is an area that you may want to check out. You've kind of got Johns Hopkins Road here to the north, and then you've got 216 here to the south, and Maple Lawn's going to be all in here. Now you've got also a decent amount of retail right on the outside. So the cool thing about this community is that you can walk to so much. You can walk to your kind of dining out. You've got grocery stores here. You've got gas stations. So everything that you need is kind of right in this area. So I wanted to mention this community too, because it's something that's kind of unique. It's a smaller knit community, but it's got so much right here in the area. So I know I hit this Chick-fil-A up here on Johns Hopkins Road several times. So that's something that they have as well. So they've got almost everything that you can be needing or looking for right here in this circle here.
All right, everyone, that wraps up today's video. I hope you learned something new about Howard County, Maryland. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and we will see you at the next video.